Hello, this is Crystar, and I am playing with Wavestate Native from Korg today. It has been a while since I've touched this on video. It's actually been a while since I've opened it. The Wavestate has the unfortunate name of starting with a W, which means it's on the bottom of my device list, which usually when I'm looking for something means I don't see it, so therefore it doesn't get loaded. This thing is amazing, and I keep forgetting I own it, which is weird to say. I think the big problem with this that I have, other than it being at the bottom of my list when I'm looking for stuff, is that it probably does one thing really well, is that it gives you sounds that change. And normally when I'm doing stuff, I'm not, I do look for that, but it's not, I kind of like, if I need something bassy, I'll go to Sublab, or I'll go to a Juno 106, or if I need something with a guitar, I'll open up Shreddage. This one, I don't have it as my default preset yet of going to it when I need a particular something. As when I was doing some music stuff earlier in the week, like if I wanted something ravey, I automatically open Pigments, because I know Pigments would have had a rave preset. Or I open up I want some strings, I'll go to Turia Strings. It's just I'm starting to develop certain plugins for certain things like everybody does, and realistically, this one is a wild little toy, and I mention toy because it is really fun to play around with, but I don't have it as a default in my head yet, and I kind of want to fix that. Now, if you're not familiar with the Wavestate, this thing is a wave sequencer, which means that it works off of different samples here that you can have loaded. So that's 1 sound, 2 sounds, 3 sounds, 4 sounds, 5 sounds, so on and so forth. And it goes along those sounds and morphs and changes. So it's an ever-evolving sound machine, which should be amazing for ADHD. Like, I get tired of the same sound or something, this thing will change to something else. So right now it's running through all the different samples here, and you can change the samples at any time by double clicking and then just changing it. And these are all naturally waves or wave tables to produce the sound. So it'll go from a wave or a wave table to a wave table to a wave table to a wave table and whatnot. And it's got a ton of these things. So you can load in something else. And then you can change how long it takes to get to them by doing the timing up here. And then you can change how it goes through. Like, do I want it to go backwards? Through here? So it sounds like I need to edit these. This also has vector synthesis, which is something that I didn't notice the first time I was playing with. This has a vector envelope over here, and then you can sit there and drag out where you want it to go in the vectors, and then it'll go through the different layers. Right now, this is only loaded with one layer, but we can turn on different layers, and it will morph and change it to the other samples. Now I have those drums that you hear on the B channel, so if I just want to hear the drums, And this is an envelope, which means that you can drag it and drop it onto almost anything and be able to adjust it and mess with the modulation of these things based upon this envelope. And as well as the LFOs and the normal envelopes and the step sequencer here. This thing's got like a ton of different modulation options. It makes things really, really interesting. And it's got a ton of presets. If I actually click on it, they call them performances instead of presets, but there's like a literal ton of them in the bass category that you get. You can say, oh, hey, I want to find a lead. Nice mono lead. Kind of low. Good lead. Let's see if I can find the one I made earlier. Of course, I didn't set it to favorites. Let's start looking at the Ks real quick. There we go. Ever-evolving soundscape. Really, really neat. If you need normal filter options, pitch options, amplitude options, they're in here. Of course, all of these are changeable by the envelope. You just drag and drop onto whatever you want. And then you got your typical effects list here. You can have different types of modulated effects, delay effects. That one's still going. You got reverb and EQ as a separate option. And then you got your modulator list to see everything that's modulated. Again, this is almost like Bitwig, a modulation powerhouse. Of course, you know, if this doesn't have it, there's tons of VST options in here to modulate with Bitwig. There's probably the full list. There's a ton of these. Like literally everything here could be modulated by Bitwig per layer. So that's the A, layer B, layer C. It is tons of fun. Of course, this emulates the hardware that Korg has put out, the Wavestate. I think version 2 now is out, and it was really, really enticing for me to buy it owning this because the hardware itself just seems like tons of fun, and it could be in my face, and I'd always see it, and I'd be able to grab it and just mess around with it for countless hours. I think probably in an altered mental state, this would be wild. For just sitting around and jamming by yourself and just losing it on the different amount of sounds that this thing can crank out, and just by little touches of like either this wave sequencer, the layers, you touch it, it changes the sound. It is really, really, really cool. you can see, I've already changed the sound. Ah, okay, so you can mod it that way. Probably combined with Valhalla, this thing would be some major spacey vibes. Just so you can see what I'm doing on the bottom here, because it's really cool. Octave 5, 4, 3, 2. So right now I'm pressing on the B3. Major cinematic vibes there. You could stick this in probably any futuristic or sci-fi type of thing, and it would feel right at home. And all you're doing is playing one instrument, and you can get so many different sounds from it. Amazing. And I love Supermassive. I really do. anyways, enough playing around with this. I like it. I like it a lot. Let me turn off Supermass, or let me get this out of the way. Wavestate Native by itself is probably the coolest little synthesizer for messing around and creating ever-evolving soundscapes and changing from one particular sound to another, to another, to another, to another. And probably guaranteed you're not going to get really bored of hearing the same sound, because you can alter it and change it in so many different ways by just doing little minor tweaks on this thing, and be able to come up with something entirely different just by messing around for a while. It is a great little fun little toy to have and just sit and go, ooh, ah. Hopefully later I'll go back to writing music with it and see how it performs actually as a musical, maybe like something like I was going for a cinematic type scoring type of thing, or like soundtrack-ish type stuff, or maybe something on something techno-ish, quote-unquote techno-ish, electro-ish. But either or, pretty cool stuff. And I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I will see you later.